How do these retards find us? I swear, I don't know how.
Sir, it's the clothes you wear.
Yeah. Like, hey, look at me, I work on crappy cars. But, y'all ready for this? Yeah, look at my Fit. That headlight's red, okay. So, for those that don't know, Fits actually have a color matched headlight. It's actually kind of cool when they match. So, the car's orange, but it's got a red headlight. But he's got a black one over here. But it's got a painted lip. Yeah, so 2008 Honda Fit with lots of rust. Oh wow, look at that.
Sir, don't look at that. That's not what it's here for. Stop touching.
Okay. Man, those are mint. Oh, red hatch. Like it. Okay.
There's supposed to be a clear cover over. I don't
know. Maybe. Is that what it's supposed to be? Sick Altezas, bruh. Oh, and this is also my favorite. So it's got this super dope aftermarket sunroofy thing, and it leaks everywhere. Go figure. I've never seen one that doesn't leak, but yeah, you could shut up. Of course, you know, and it just rained outside, so the seat is soaking wet.
That's pretty cool.
It has an auto closing feature. Oh, okay, that's nifty, I guess.
It's sealed.
Oh, but the windows are still down. Anyway, so let's. Oh, you're gonna have to hit the. Yeah. One of these. 2008 Honda Fit. Guy wants us to take the engine out of it. Put in this here K24. This K24 came from a 6-11 Civic Si. He bought the Civic Si just for this swap. So it's a JDM K24 with that Z3 trans. We're in the process of pulling it apart, inspecting it, changing some seals. Supposedly this was a built motor, but after pulling the pan, we found it's not a built motor. It's a stock oil pump, stock rod, stock piston, stock cam. Doesn't even have a 50-degree VTC. It's got nothing. So we're just gonna go through it real quick, freshen it up, do the Type S pump, the Accord lightweight exhaust gear, and then the 50-degree VTC gear. We've already got mounts and everything. Hasport makes mounts to put K-Series engine right into this race car here. So yeah, that's what's going on. Geez, come on, white balance, hold on. I gotta wait. If I go this way. There we go, that's better now. I'm just like...
So you want to see what the is?
So, sure. Let's look at this piece of crap. What? Is that like a water bottle? What is that? Like, what?
I drank that milk last week.
Something.
You should check out the header back here.
I don't want to look at the header. I don't. Whoa. Oh, that's okay. So that's why it does sound like a Subaru. So they make these headers for B series as well. It legit makes them sound like a Subaru.
Damn shame.
Legit. So, yeah. What? A Honda with tight battery terminals?
What's going on there?
What is that? I mean, I'm not mad. That's kind of ingenious, but that's not right at all. Like, that has to get fixed. Okay. That's cute. Cool. So, yeah. We're going to pull this thing apart right here real quick. Ooh, I like the self-tapping screws. Those are my favorite. Sir, you're interrupting my video.
If they don't have self-tappers, is it a Honda?
It's true.
Self-tappers and zip ties.
Honda metric bolts. Sorry. Got these Honda metric bolts.
OEM. How dare you?
So, yeah, we're gonna get this thing torn down. What's going on here? All torn down. Swap is out of it. Man, this thing's definitely seen better days. Pretty sure it's got low compression and at least a couple cylinders. But Devin got the bay all cleaned up super nice. It looks like someone maybe started to paint it black in that corner over there. there's a lot of rust on this car. This bracket over here, this motor mount bracket, you can see there's actually, yep, that's a hole. That's a hole with a crack. The crack continues up and it actually goes on both sides. So it's cracked pretty good. So there's, like I said, lots and lots of rust in this piece of crap. I mean, this glorious vehicle. So got everything out. We're gonna need to trim up the radiator support a little bit. Just a little. Probably take half inch, 3/4 of an inch off to get the intake manifold to fit. But you need to get that rear motor mount down there, pulled out of there so we can start fitting the Hasport mounts. Then we can start fabbing everything else up. Got the motor torn down. Got the lightweight cord gear put on. RBC 50-degree VTC. Type S pumps on. Lower chain guide. Everything's all reset, ready to go. We're gonna finish cleaning up this timing cover.
Change the front seal.
Yeah, front seal, the O-ring. That's the O-ring. There's an O-ring that goes right there.
OEM stuff for it.
Coming to you live from inside the Fit engine bay. Quick little update here. On this kit, you have to notch the frame rail. We have
bigger than the engine.
notched the frame. It's kind of hard to see. Went through and touched up a bunch of stuff. There's rust all over here, so tried to scuff it up real good and then paint. Man, this camera makes the paint look horrible. Paint actually looks decent. There was a delay valve here, pulled the delay valve off for the clutch setup. So I also got the radiator completely pulled out. So I need to figure out if we want to try to move or relocate the radiator at all. Put my butt and sit right on this wet paint. So got all this wiring pulled out because this upper portion needs to get trimmed here. Need to get this pulled off. Ugh. So we need to use this mount, but not this bracket. Also, there's these brake lines normally come down here. So they say to gently massage these brake lines, which is stupid scary. So pull the brake lines out from here and push them up into here, but need to maintain this hole because that's where the engine harness comes through. So got all that done, all that's cleaned up. ABS is in the way, it sticks too far out. So modified the bracket here, tweaked the bracket here, and then re-drilled the hole back here so it actually sits kind of underneath this radiator support area. Now it's super close to the actual bucket. It's not hitting, it's still nice and insulated and everything, so should be good. But man, this thing is filthy. Oh look, someone started to paint this side black. Hola! So I decided to take a nice little siesta down here. Laying on the ground. I gotta show you all this. This is freaking crazy. I don't know where the heck this car came from. We had told you it had rust before, but man, look at this. Like, there's rust everywhere. Someone has went to the old Vato Zone, got some like rubberized undercoating and started spraying everything under here. But look at that. This is literally falling apart from rust. Oh, that's not the worst part either. So right here is the gas tank. These Honda Fits the gas tank because they're right in the middle of the car. Let's see if I can show you. Check this out. That is completely rotted away. The floor is gone, and someone's got some like piece of rubber or something under there with some, I don't know, to me it looks like a liquid nail, maybe. Yeah, trying to fix the floor where this is, the floor's gone, and that's what that is, that piece of rubber. But everything else over here is just completely rotted out. These side frame pieces, I don't even know, this doesn't even really have a frame, it's a unibody car. all this is just rotted out completely. And it gets worse the farther back you go. So back there, there's multiple holes in the floor where someone's just tried to mend it real quick and then just spray some crap on it like somebody was just trying to sell the car. But, oh, that's my favorite. I love self-tappers. Not really, I hate them. This is cool too. It's got an aftermarket sunroof in it, and somebody just punched a hole right in the wheel well for the drain that apparently the drain clearly doesn't work because it still drains to the inside of the car. Man, this thing is a heap-a-lop-a pile of something. Yeah, everything's just completely nasty and just painted over, undercoated. So yeah, really this is what we were after. We were here to get the shift cables out. So Jesse's already pulled the cables and everything off the box on the inside. We're gonna pull this grommet and that bracket with those 210s. Hopefully they don't break off, and get these cables out of here. So it sounds like we're gonna end up doing a full exhaust on this. We had a different exhaust, some name brand exhaust for a Fit, but it's 2-inch exhaust. Yeah, that's not gonna work for a K series. So they're not horrible. You just need to figure out a header situation, and then it'll come out here 90 and go that way, and then as soon as it hits that hanger right there, it'll shoot back the length of the car, and then it goes kind of around that rear spring perch back there. So yeah, I'll update you as soon as we find more rust holes, more things wrong with this thing, or we make some more progress. Engine is in and the engine is hanging here. This is where we're at. K24 Fit 2008, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 2008.
2008 Fit with a K24.
Yes, in a K20 Z3 transmission.
Yeah, that one over there, that piece of crap.
Limited shit, I mean slip.
So, this is all the Hasport kit. Hasport kits normally, you know, come with nice mounts and everything, but apparently this is just Hasport brackets. It still utilizes the factory mounts. So on this side and over here and the rear. And the rear, like, there's no way in heck this is gonna hold any kind of decent power. This thing made, you know, 100 horsepower on a good day, stock. This thing's gonna make 220. So he's gonna go through mounts quite quickly, I think. That and kind of concerns me about clearances and stuff, because everything's gonna be real tight and this motor's gonna rock all over the place, especially with these stock mounts. So other than that, we got heater hoses on and done. Slave cylinders in. This car from factory has a delay valve for the clutch system. We went ahead and just completely removed the delay valve. Number one, to make more room, but to clean up everything, and that whole thing, the whole system was completely rusted. But we've got a stainless steel braided line that's going to come from master cylinder to the slave. We got an axle. Haven't put that side on yet because we're still waiting on a header. So once the header goes in, then the midshaft can go in, and then the axle can go in.
The oil filter.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff back there. It's gonna be real tight. So other than that,
Did work on some of the AC lines.
We got a bunch of AC stuff done. So currently these are both factory fit lines. This top line, you can massage and bend and get it to fit. It runs down under the frame rail and then pops back up over here. So that one fits decent. This one, unfortunately, the lower one is a little too short. I was hoping that we can come right up and over on top of the alternator here, and it just needs to go here, but as you can see, it's too little. So I need to figure out what to do there somehow, some way. That is an EP3 AC compressor that we're using, but I guess we throw the belt back on it.
And there's an aluminum radiator and a new condenser coming.
So this thing's got like 200,000 miles on it. So, and it still has the original radiator in it.
Really rusty clamps.
Check out those clamps. This thing is nasty with rust. Also talked to the owner of the car. convinced them to replace the condenser. This thing's super beat up, so it has to come out anyway. To do the swap, we have to drain the system, so I pretty much told him if he wants to buy the part, then we'll just install it, and obviously the AC system needs charge. So yeah, that's where we're at currently.
Good old TSX manifold.
Oh, manifold of choice, 0708 TSX intake manifold. So the bigger of the snail style manifold. So it should clear somewhat decent. I had to trim and modify the radiator support a little bit. It'll be tight. This wiring, we need to still tuck the wiring up and get all that going. But I think next we're going to try to run some wiring, maybe a charge harness, everything that's under the intake manifold, because once the manifold's on, it's going to be super hard to get underneath it. So we've got a swivel style thermostat coming, so we can clock the outlet to the correct spot we want.
Back on too.
Yeah. What else? What else we got? What else we got? Intake manifold gasket. This place is a mess right now. I've got.
We haven't put the rear mount in yet because of the header situation as
Yeah.
well.
So the Hasport kit, it's a bunch of brackets. So this is, we'll take it from K-series on that side to the stock mount. Actually, a pretty decent setup. We've got all the stuff for the exhaust. It's getting a 3-inch exhaust system. We got a resonator, a big muffler, a bunch of stainless piping, V-band clamps, the works. So we need to start working on that too. Honda Fit update. We've got this AC line made. This AC line's actually just sitting here, but got this AC line all done up. Intake manifold's on. Vacuum line boosters on.
Fuel supply.
Fuel line's on. We've got charge harness is done to the starter and the alternator underneath all that. The other charge harness for the alternator and the knock. That's all cleaned up, done, and installed. Back there. Header is bolted in. It's all stainless. It actually doesn't hang down super low, so still got some decent clearance to the actual chassis itself. But exhaust is all tacked up. I'm gonna pull it back off and start welding up. So there's a 4-inch flex right here going to the V-band, so we'll be able to pull the V-band, pull all these hangers off, and go through and spend all the time welding all this up. So I just did a simple turn down off the muffler. It's really close off of this lip right here, so obviously I need to finish cutting off the rest of those hangers that are down there. Oh yeah, Jesse got the clutch line put in. You can barely see it. It's hidden back all behind there, and it runs up and over the bell housing. We need to hook up these short little water lines. I think we're just going to hook it up instead of bypassing it. So yeah, other than that, get the wiring harness thrown on, a little bit more plumbing. I'm still trying to decide what to do about an intake. So I think we might come off of here and put the filter like RSX style. The filter kind of hangs out right here. So it really depends on what happens here with this radiator hose, and then the battery box sits right here. So I need to see where the battery sits first. I mean, we might be able to do something down there. Worst case, we can kind of come off the throttle body and then go down. And then we'll have 2 ports on this side of it. One will go to thermal valve, the other will just go to the valve cover. I had to find a short piece of aluminum line here. This is the factory fit line. Obviously you can see we cut it. We cut this fitting off of it, added this in to give it some more length just to try to clear the alternator. So it seems to clear pretty good. So, and then it takes off and goes up and up around the alternator, starts heading over that way. So this will ultimately get bolted up right here. I just don't like this, all this extra slack right here.
We have to massage that a little bit.
So that, and then this hose got a funky kink in it right here. We'll have to watch out for that to see what's going on there.
I wonder if we unbolt the piece lamp and go around it, maybe? I don't know, it depends on how hard the radius becomes. But
Yeah. We did get the new condenser in. We did get the new Mishimoto radiator. It's in the house. We did get the shift cable bracket. We need to get the shift cable still. Yeah, so hopefully I'll go grab those real quick. Local guy has those. Get that thrown on, get the bracket thrown on. I'm really curious to see how much clearance we're gonna have back there by the header area to get the cables out from under the car over here and then get them all bolted up. We were told that they are going to be long and that we're going to have to try to hide some slack somewhere. So I'm curious to see where exactly we're going to be hiding slack.
we did find out that this factory TSX hose, fuel feed hose, fits both ends. It's just a touch long.
Yeah, so this is 2004 to 2008 Acura TSX. Literally just a plug and play setup, which was kind of cool. Then we didn't have to make any kind of custom fuel lines or anything like that. Well, yeah, that's where we're at currently. Honda Fit update number 7482, something like that. Yeah, that's where we're at. Check this thing out. This conglomerate of a thing, whatever you want to call it. Made some more progress. I don't know what all you saw last, but all the wiring's pretty much 100% done. Jesse mocked up this intake. I welded these fittings on. Intake air temps on. There's actually some pretty decent clearance around everything. Mishimoto radiator. We're gonna have to make some new brackets for here. So we were able to actually keep the primary fan. So we had to trim the primary fan a little bit to get it to fit. I'm probably gonna end up moving this back just slightly, so I'll make some new brackets that go here, then just bolt on here, new condenser. We're actually gonna probably put 2 aftermarket fans on the actual condenser itself, just to try to help move more air, because obviously with this fan, stock fan's gone. Yeah. So other than that, all the exhaust is done, installed. Primary wideband sensor is on and installed. The ECU's in and mounted. The adapter harness that we built is installed. We need to repin the pedal position sensor.
Yeah.
The
On the actual pedal.
throttle actuator hater thing.
Should show them the exhaust on the car, actually. That's
I think we already showed them, but yeah, sure. That's probably good. Utilized all the factory hangers. But it is a full 3-inch stainless, going through a decent size resonator, all the way back to a 3-inch turbo muffler. Just a little turn down, hiding out down there. Yeah. Oh, we got the shift cables on too. That was a disaster. We were told we needed Honda V6 Accord cables, or like 04 to 07 TL cables. Because apparently the cables will work. They're longer than the stock cables, but come to find out, they're too long. We were also told that we needed this bracket. It's a cutie bracket, which again, we didn't. So it currently just has a stock bracket in there. So put the stock bracket in, put the stock cables in. Yeah, guess what? Now it's way too long. So we had to come in and actually modify the cable. It actually came out pretty decent. So shortened the cable. We actually cut the cable and threaded this cable right here. This is still solid all through here. So threaded this. It's just an M6 by 1.0. This was a piece of aluminum that was turned down from a previous project that we found that actually fit perfectly over the box. So threaded the cable here, drilled and tapped here, and then put this together. So this is a jam nut. Let's see how much you can see, but yeah, so shortened up and works great. Yeah.
I just tested the hood too. It does clear everything.
Sweet. Yeah, this is that pedal position chingaderas. Just need to repin this real quick to work this factory drive-by-wire system. And we can get this beefalapa thing put back together. I think once we get cooling fans, we'll get the fans put on.
Axles are in too.
Oh.
I don't know if we ever covered that.
I think we covered one axle, but got this other axle put in. This is all done, tightened up, ball joints back in. Had to relocate the horn. The horn used to hang out down here, but unfortunately now the AC compressor is in the way, so I had to move all that. The wiring reach is fine. It's a little tight, but it's not pulling on it or anything. Yeah, as soon as we get fans, we'll get the fans put on the condenser. Then we can final mount the condenser, final mount the radiator. We need to build an upper radiator hose, which should just be a nice, simple sweeping from the neck to there. This will all mount in its factory location. It has this factory water neck. Jeez, look how rusted those are. That's nasty. So we'll get that mounted up, then we'll mount up the radiator. The other hose nipple is actually right next to it, so it just comes off and we'll shoot right over there. I can't really, I don't think you can see down in there, but the lower radiator hose is definitely going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens when we get to that point. So it'd be probably just a super short little thing. But yeah, that's where we're at. So in the process, I need to finish charging the AC, got it all sucked down. Got his new cooling fans. We ended up putting 2 aftermarket smaller fans in the front. I was able to fit the one factory fan down in there. We've got a CAN communication code that we're trying to figure out. So the speedometer doesn't work at the moment, and the tach doesn't work. But it seems like everything else for the most part works. So other than that though, yeah, that's where we're at currently. The exhaust is like super nice and quiet. Wish you could hear this thing. We'll get it up and going. I need to finish fiddling with the tune a little bit. We'll take it around the block after we charge the AC. Move on to the next one. Alright guys, quick update on the old K24 Fit. It's done. I don't know what all you've seen at this point, but quick rundown. 2008 Honda Fit, JDM K24. Ended up using TSX manifold for clearance because it is way tight in here. The Hasport kit, I don't like it. Sorry, I take that back. I like the Hasport kit. I don't like that the Hasport kit utilizes stock mounts. I think that's a horrible idea. So as we've seen here, we've got everything done. The engine moves a lot. So because it's on stock mounts, this thing made, I don't know, 100 horse, 110 horsepower stock, and now we're putting like 200 through it. So now the engine's literally moving all over the place. We've built the exhaust, we've modified a header, you know, it's got a custom header on it, and the header has tons of room. It's probably got 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch clearance between everything, the subframe and the bottom of the car. But because it's on stock mounts, now if you let off the gas too hard or if you dump the clutch, the thing just bam comes up and smacks the bottom of the car, which I think is stupid. So gonna work to see if I can't find updated mounts or newer mounts or a stiffer mount or something, so we can get different mounts put in this. But Mishimoto, brand new Mishimoto radiator, new condenser, everything put back together. Everybody on the forum always talks about like, oh yeah, I got the AC to work. Well, what they don't tell you is the 0708 TSX ECU does not want to communicate with the factory cluster at all. So this speedometer doesn't work, the tach doesn't work. There's quite a bit that doesn't work. And then trying to interface the stock ECU with the AC system in the Fit, it's very difficult. So we were able to get it. it's currently, the system is bypassed from the ECU, so it is not ECU controlled. I don't know if I necessarily like that. I really dislike that the ECU does not know when the AC is on, so it technically doesn't idle up, which just means that we're gonna have to have a little bit higher than normal idle, which again it's not that big of a deal, but to me it's not right. So I really wish we would been able to get the AC to go through the ECU, so then the ECU knows when it's on. The ECU could then control the AC clutch, stuff like that. But other than that, just turn this down. We got K-tuner unit in it. This is our working dash. It does have a check engine light for a communication code between the gauge cluster and the ECU. But other than that, runs real good. This particular setup does like a little bit higher idle as well, because I think something's wrong with this alternator. But anything lower than about 800 RPM, the alternator just seems like it doesn't want to work at all. So kicked it up just a little bit, but we were getting 40, 41, 42 degree air out of this thing. It's got 3 cooling fans on it up front just to try to keep the room cool. Looks like it needs gas. Never been a fan of these as well. They don't really have, I don't know if you can see that. They don't really have a coolant temp gauge, they just have that light. So, that light will go off once it reaches a certain temperature, which is stupid. So you don't really know if it's overheating or not. There's no actual like a needle or an indicator. Where that was another good thing about the actual having the K-tuner unit. The K-tuner unit, we know for sure like an exact number. So we can also, you know, watch a bunch of other things at the same time. See vehicle speed, coolant temp, intake air temp. You can do quite a bit with this thing. It's all touchscreen as well. So, and you can set up a bunch of different layouts. So I'll have to go through all this with him, but yeah, that's it. We give it a quick walk around. Exhaust came out really nice. I was really surprised. It's got a full 3-inch exhaust on it. The smaller exhaust probably would have fit a little bit better, but I think once we get the better mounts on it, I think it'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, quick walk around. Nice little turn down. Try to keep it nice and stealthy looking. Yeah, you can see it. So he still has a bunch of plans to do a bunch of body work on it. He's got a carbon fiber hatch, carbon fiber hood for it. He wants to get a bunch of carbon fiber bits. Like we had previously showed, there is unfortunately quite a bit of rust on this thing. But yeah, that is it. Customer is on his way to pick it up, and we're off to the next one. So quick little preview of we did rearrange a bunch of cars over here, and what do we have here? For some of you longtime subscribers of the channel know exactly what this is, but we'll get a quick walk around of this and let you guys know what's going on next year. But yeah, that's it for now. Remember, like, subscribe, you know, all that garbage. So we're just trying to get our subscriber count up. I mean, if we could hit 1,000, dude, I'd be ecstatic to hit 1,000, but I think we're at like a couple hundred currently. I mean, eventually we'll get there. But thanks for watching, guys. Later.